Hey there, ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot, and one day I'll be your favorite Diablo 4 content creator. Alright, so in this video, I'm actually going to talk about the lucky hit mechanic and explain thoroughly how it works because I think a lot of people are quite confused about it. But before I go into the details, alright, I'm going to make a little bit of an appeal to you guys. If you guys want to help a small creator like me, get my name out there, all you have to do is hit the like button on this video. It is extremely crucial that the first 1,000 viewers do this. So, I don't know how many people watch this video, but if you do, I would ask kindly that you hit the like button before we progress any further. All right? Thank you so much if you decide to do that. And of course, double thanks if you also share it out on social media. Okay? All right. Now, let's get into the lucky hit mechanic. But before we go into the nitty-gritty of the math and all that, let me first explain how mechanics like this work. All right, most of you guys have gone through middle school and all that, so you guys should know exactly what this is all about, but I'm just going to explain it quickly anyway, just for the benefit of those who might not be so skilled mathematically. Basically, we'll start by looking at a mechanic like critical strike chance. Okay, critical strike chance is a simple one-step process. Here, my poorly made mage, unfortunately, because I didn't know a lot about the game when I first played sorcerer, has a critical strike chance of 27.5%. Okay, roughly this is going to be like 28%. Okay, let's remove the decimal point. So if it was a 28% critical strike chance, what this means that out of 100 attacks, 28 of them are going to be critical strikes, right? Simple and straightforward logic. You can follow that, yeah? Okay, lucky hits requires that same logic, but you have to do it twice. Let me first explain. If you go to options, right, and you go to gameplay and you've turned on your advanced tooltip compare, advanced tooltip information, yeah, when you take a look at each individual skill, you'll notice they have a lucky hit chance. Okay, this lucky hit chance dictates whether or not the skill itself will trigger the condition called lucky hit, and then after the condition of a lucky hit is triggered, you then have to roll and assess the chance of a lucky hit effect. Do you understand that? It's a two-step process, okay? Let me make it even clearer by showing you a quick Excel spreadsheet that I have, okay? Let me expand this. Now, you guys can't see it yet, but you will shortly, okay? I'm just going to expand this, set it to client area, and then we'll put it behind my camera. Okay. Now, I know because the background is white, I'm being blinded here. But basically, if a skill has a lucky hit percentage of 25%, all right, and the effect, so there's a 20% chance of causing fear or something like that, the effect of the lucky hit is 20%, then the actual chance of this effect occurring per attack is only 5%. Why? Because with your lucky hit percentage on your skill, basically, out of 100 attacks, 25 of them are going to be lucky hits. And out of 100 lucky hits, only 20 of them are going to trigger the effect. Do you understand? So the probabilities of an effect occurring are much smaller. Let's take a look with some actual statistics, all right? Let's take a look with some actual statistics. Let's temporarily hide this. Let's take a look at the sorcerer skill tree. This is part of the reason why I came on my old sorcerer, just so I could show you one of the passives, right? Aha. Okay, static discharge. Critical strikes with shock skills have up to a 15% chance to form a crackling energy. Okay, this one is an even more complex calculation, but let me walk you through a step-by-step process, okay? Check this out. Now we know that static discharge has a 15% lucky hit effect chance, okay? So effect, we start by putting in 15%. Now let me put the window back up, okay? Now we're going to require 2 additional rows here, so we're going to insert 2 rows above, and we're going to take this like that, and we'll input my critical strike chance. Okay, we're going to round this one up to 28, although it's actually 27.5. Okay, and then we're going to just copy this formula here. But this one, we're just going to do a little bit of an extra calculation, yeah? Okay, so in this particular case, take note, you have to read the text because this one only triggers on a lucky critical strike. So you have to multiply all of this together. At first, 15% chance doesn't sound too bad. But in this particular case, no. It is first, you have to have a critical strike. That critical strike then has to be lucky. So this will be based, like, let's say I do it with charge bolts. Charge bolts has a currently 25% chance of a lucky hit. Then you have to multiply it by the effect. What's the actual chance of the effect occurring? If we were to expand the number of decimals, it's actually literally a 1.05% chance of this effect occurring. Because first of all, the condition would have to be met that it's a critical strike. Okay, let me just show it to you. Let's read it from the text in game. First, it has to be a critical strike with a shock skill. Okay, then on top of that, it has to be a lucky hit, and then the effect has a 15% chance. All right. If we fall back on our calculations, you can see that we've taken account of all of that. This is the problem with lucky hits. This is the issue with lucky hits. Okay, let me just shrink the font size down a little bit, guys, so that my big head is not in the way. Yeah? Okay, so now that my head is not in the way, you guys can see this now, that when you look at certain effects, it's not just the lucky hit on top of that. You have to take into account so many other things. This applies for a variety of other skills, which if we were to look into game, I think there's another one that occurs as well. Okay, for example, this one, hitting enemies with a shock skill, this does not have the word lucky hit. So you only have to look at stuff that has a lucky hit. So when you say convulsions, shock skills have a 9% chance to stun enemies for 3 seconds. What is your actual chance of a stun? Okay, once again, you have to look at the percentages. Let's see if we were to change this over to Arc Lash. Arc Lash has an 18% lucky hit chance. So how often will Arc Lash actually stun somebody? Let's have a look-see. If we were to go back to the calculation table and input all of that, okay, skill lucky hit, 18%. Okay, sorry. This one we'll just put with crit for clarity. Okay. I used to be an accountant, so this is all that, you know, I used to do every day. So if we look at this, the skill that we're talking about is Arc Lash. Arc Lash has an 18% chance, which you can see in the skill description, of scoring a lucky hit. The effect itself, which is a stun, has a 9% chance of occurring, which would mean that the actual chance of the effect is roughly 2%. So 2% of your Arc Lash hits, if you were to do 100 Arc Lash hits, only 2 of them are going to stun the target. Which means that in actuality, and this is why I screwed up a lot of builds early in the game because I didn't thoroughly understand these mechanics, I realized that a lot of these lucky hit mechanics are pretty much doo-doo, okay? They're pretty bad. They are pretty bad. Let's do some theory crafting. Did you know that the Barbarian's Whirlwind has a lucky hit chance of 20%? And then, in order to, after you spend 3 skill points, on Pressure Point, you have a 30% chance to inflict vulnerable on the target. This means that as you're dealing damage with Whirlwind, okay, and it doesn't actually tick that frequently, FYI, you only have a 6% chance of making the target vulnerable. This is even worse for some of the legendary nodes in the game, whereby using a two-handed weapon makes the target vulnerable. Being able to make a target vulnerable, as you guys might know, is one of the crucial aspects of this game, and it is one of the most important effects in this whole game. So, when you cannot, it presents a problem. It presents a serious problem when you cannot make the target vulnerable, because vulnerability is a huge multiplier for damage. So, yeah, those effects that require lucky hits are a problem. Now, let me tell you a little extra secret, okay? Lucky hit percentage increases are trash as well. Let me prove it to you. Okay. Charge bolts, 25% chance lucky hit, but did you know that this is with precision magic in here? Your lucky hit chance is increased by 15%, and it's got the plus icon, so we know it's an additive bonus. So that sounds good, right? Okay, let me take all these skill points off. Wait a second. Charge bolts has a 22% lucky hit chance? Wait, I'm so sorry. I thought this was supposed to be 15% additive. Yeah. Okay, here's the problem. Although it has a plus icon there, it is not additive. It is multiplicative. You get 15% additional chance based on the baseline lucky hit chance of your stuff. So let's say the baseline here. Now, do I have any other things with lucky hit on it? I'm just gonna check for the sake of, you know, I don't want this testing to be affected in any way, shape, or form. So sorry. So sorry. Let me just check. Check. Okay, there's no lucky hit increases other than precision magic, which I had before. That's fine. Okay, so precision magic is a 15%, up to a 15% lucky hit increase chance. But then how come adding it here only brings us up to 25? Well, the math is very simple, and I'm just going to show it to you before we end this video. It is because if we were to just use this random Excel cell, yeah, 15%, what you don't get, right, is let me just copy this here because I like the formatting. Okay. When you add lucky hit, you have to take into account the base lucky hit chance of the skill. So let's say the skill's lucky hit chance at base is 22, just as an example, yeah? And the amount that you're adding to the lucky hit is 15%, okay? So you're adding 15% lucky hit chance. What this does is basically it takes this, okay, plus this multiplied by 15. So you're getting 15% extra of the baseline. Lo and behold, it is 25. Okay? So I should probably put a descriptor there. Sorry. I get too excited with my formulas sometimes. Sorry. 1 second. There we go. And then we'll put in a descriptor here. New lucky hit percentage. So although you're getting 15, it's actually although you're spending 3 skill points for what is stated as a 15% lucky hit chance increase, you're only getting an extra 3%. This is the same if you have lucky hit percentage on your gauntlets or whatever else. If you were, and I tried this on my barbarian, which led to some very sad results. If you were to do something like, say, get a roll 8% extra lucky hit chance on your gauntlets, just as an example, okay? Let's say you were to put 8% in here, and your skill's base lucky hit chance is 20. All you would be getting, and these are tier 6 gauntlets with item power 725, you'd only be getting an extra 2% for your new lucky hit percentage. All right, if we were to expand that, it's actually 21.6. So yeah, it's not exactly the best mechanic in the game because, like I mentioned, lucky hits are a 2-step process. It's not a 1-step process, and this is the biggest deal. This is the biggest issue. It is a literal 2-step process where you first have to score a lucky hit, and then you have to get the lucky hit effect to roll. So that's an even lower chance. Unlike critical strike chance, where just adding more critical strike chance, it's additive. Lucky hits don't work like that for some weird ass reason. They are multiplicative instead. All right. So before you work on a build that is, you know, based on lucky hits, you have to work out which skills have a high lucky hit percentage, which again is actually why, and let me just show you this before we end this video, because I think it's absolutely crucial to go through this. The Necro, where is my super awesomely cool looking Necro? This is my Bone Spear Necro. Alright, this is why certain skills do far better. If I recall, Bone Spear has a very high baseline lucky hit chance. Let me just quickly check on that. Excuse me. Okay, there we are. Bone Spear has a... I think I increased it. Yeah, I increased it here by about 10%. Bone Spear has a baseline 50% lucky hit chance. Which means that if I were to look at an effect like Hued Flesh, for example, where on a lucky hit I've got 12% chance to create a corpse. Okay, first we have lucky hit chance here. Let me just bring up the Excel spreadsheet. we have a lucky hit chance of 55%, let's say, and the lucky hit effect is 12%. Basically, 7% of Bone Spears. Now, that sounds low, but don't forget, Bone Spear hits twice. And this is on a per hit basis, okay? Just so you know, it's on a per hit basis. 7% of my Bone Spears will actually cause a corpse to form, which can be pretty useful. But in actuality, when you look at their percentages, it's really not much, is it? And this is with a lucky hit percentage of 55. So think very carefully before you include lucky hits into your build. Sometimes there's just no better choice, which I think you guys have to understand. If your attacks are so frequent, and because it's on a per hit basis, if your attacks are super frequent, that you can trigger it within, like, with a reasonable range, then by all means, you know, go right ahead. But weigh it carefully. If yours is the type of slow attack that only hits once, okay, you're not going to roll very quickly or very fast, right? This is why basic skills in general have a high lucky hit percentage, if I'm not wrong. Most basic skills do well. Like, for example, Hemorrhage, this has a 35% base, 10% increase, I think puts me at 3.8. But yeah, because of Hemorrhage base lucky hit chance, I can make corpses with it fairly easily as well via the Hued Flesh passive. So just be aware of this and know that this is how lucky hits work in this game. This is to give you a thorough understanding of how lucky hits work and why they work the way they do. And this is why you need to think very carefully before actually including them in your build. There are many builds out there that work fantastically. You know, I'm not going to say that my builds are the best in the game. They're what's best for me. And they're based on minimizing all these factors, because I'm the type of person that works on efficiency. But if you like the lucky stuff, go for it. Just be aware that this is what you're getting into. Unlike critical strike chance, it's not a single mechanic. It's a double. It's a double mechanic. It's a probability on a probability. And if you add critical strikes on top of that, it's a probability of a probability of a probability. So you do have to be aware of that. Okay? Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was informative, and I hope it helps you guys better understand the lucky hit mechanic in thorough detail. Okay, before we go, let me give a thanks to all the channel members that make my shenanigans possible. So let me go open that up. And also thank you to all of our top tippers, all of our top supporters. Okay, y'all should know who they are, because all my top supporters, super chatters, tippers, did you know that they go into the description of every stream? So every month, our top tier folks go into this description, and they get left there for about a month so people could see who've been supporting me. People like Zane Hoagland, Mike Cawthon, River Archer, Kenzo, Ray's Reality. Thank you guys very much. Okay, I appreciate that tremendously. Okay, these people are the awesome people making all this stuff possible. But we also have our lovely channel members who make all of our shenanigans go smoothly. So these are the lovely channel members we are thanking. All right, thanks are given for honor tier and above. So let's start right at the very top. Starting at Plus Ultra, we've got Death Dawning 982. We've got OG, Rogue Assassin, and Zach MG. Thank you guys so much. Okay, thank you to our honored robots. Thank you to Marcel, Kaishiwa, Bob John, Maxim Lotz, Corey Ryu, Devin Lashin, Mookie Mocha, Rena, Chase Taylor, Nathan Strong, Sabingu, Lady Neo, Joey Danze, Daraverse, Che D12, I'm Peep, Syed Assad, Code CMF, Kami SMH, Conrad C, Nate the Great, Benjamin Savage. Thank you guys so much. All right. Thank you to all of our cool and weird bots as well. I know that times are tough, so even a membership can be difficult, but I appreciate you guys who continue to maintain and stay members. Thank you guys very much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. You know, heard my appeal at the start of the video. And honestly, I just hope that this video was informative for you. Okay, I hope it helps you guys learn more about the lucky hit mechanic. And I'll see you guys on stream. Thank you. Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.